So, I've been thinking about how everything is now, and it's now, what is it? It's 11:30 p.m. January 19th. I thought we'd be seeing a bunch of pardons today, or the president would be releasing some stuff, some information. Nothing happened. I kind of stayed home just in case I didn't want to miss anything, but you know, um it's almost midnight. So tomorrow we get a new president. And I really feel, I have an overwhelming feeling that this is, crossroads isn't the right word, turning point might be kind of, it's more like a gateway, um, into a different kind of world. There's a car with music outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's not me. Um, we were, before the pandemic, before everything, we were building towards things changing. I remember, watching shops close, and just things here and there were just really changing. I remember sitting in the mall outside Sears on its last day and looking at it and really feeling like, gee, everything's breaking down. The old way that we lived is ending, because I couldn't see the malls making it once these flagship stores went. And there was always rumors that JCPenney was going to close, and Macy's was always closing some stores. So just, not that that's the whole thing, but we're a society built on capitalism, and for a long time everything was centered around the malls and stuff. And when those places close, people lose their jobs. If there's not another store to hire those people, they can stay out of work. And when people stay out of work, sometimes they stay out of work. And I don't think our society really acknowledges that. I don't think they acknowledge people who are permanently unemployed or can't find work and stuff like that. I'm one of those people. But so it's been hard. Life's been hard, and people had to find ways to exist. And with the pandemic and what the government did in response to the pandemic, it really just, even if the train was coming to a halt, that just took the train off the tracks. And I guess for them, maybe they're in the front car, so they haven't noticed that it derailed, or that they derailed it. Maybe they're still comfortable, but things are never going to be the same. We didn't ask for it. We didn't vote for it. I don't think our votes matter anymore. I questioned whether they mattered before. But so now we're headed into God knows what. I mean, it's gonna be, for my money, it's gonna be completely different. And I hope I'm missing something. I mean, I've been confused this whole time. I thought, like I said, I thought things were gonna collapse months ago, before the summer even. But it hung on by a thread for some reason. But whatever happens, you never know what measures they're going to put into place. There's so many things that I look at and I'm like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Republican, I'm not conservative. But there's things that already they're going to do, and I'm just like, nah, I can't go along with this. I can't, it's so, not only opposite to anything in my mind that I would want in the future, but it's just, to me, it's against, what this country was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about freedom, and, the people were supposed to, our vote was supposed to, matter. And I'm not just talking about if the election was wrong or anything. I'm talking about the people who are in charge. They don't listen to their constituents anymore on either side. They do what they want. And I think that's what's happened in the last couple years, is that they felt like, we have control. They can't stop us now, you know. And they're right, unless there was revolution, which I don't think people have that in them anymore. I think everybody's too tired, honestly. But so people have talked about 1984. I know I was taught by the teachers in school that this is the worst thing that could ever happen. Thought police and all that. We've already stepped into that before this, with, like I said, cancel culture and everything. But now you're looking at some of the plans they're making, and it's like, it looks like people aren't going to be able to travel if they don't get the vaccine. They may force people to get the vaccine in order to get, assistance like food stamps or anything like that. And if we head towards that way, I don't want to be around for that. I don't want to live where there's you're supposedly free, because you can choose not to get a vaccine, but then you choose not to have a life and not to be able to travel. And you just say to yourself, how did we get to that point in the first place? How did it get that they're so in control of things? I mean, you have to have a license to drive, right? You can't just drive a car. You're not free to do that. So, and after 9/11, you had to start showing ID and stuff. And then the way things went, you had to start, when you book things, you book a ticket or something, you have to put all your information in. The days of going to a window and buying a ticket, bus ticket or something, that was dwindling already. They already started wanting people to pay only with credit cards. Well, with that, they can trace you anywhere. I mean, if you paid with cash, you were free. There were these things that kept us free, that, the right to bear arms. I don't have a gun. I don't want to have a gun. But I don't want to ever use a gun on a human being. But that right keeps us free, But when you have people who get put into place and they're against all that, and I don't know how they became against all these freedoms, the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, whatever arms, whatever speech, it has to be free. And we're headed into a situation where it looks like in no time flat we won't be free at all. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to me, because I don't think I can stay here. I don't have the money to continue. So I thought I was going to have to see if I could, what I could do to move from here. I don't even know if I can do that now, because of the way things turned out. And even if I could, I don't know how much money I would have. But even if I had money now, how can I go around without compromising everything I believe? How could I move to a different state? How could I travel to another country? All that's just vanishing before our eyes, and everybody went along with it. I know there's a pandemic. I know that they believe they could stop it. I never thought they could stop anything. I don't believe any of their measures have done anything except ruin the economy. I mean, I watch the British news. I look at the London, tweets from their, newspapers. They're a hot mess. And they've been locking down and doing all kinds of stuff. And, you know, we won't let them come here. They won't let us go there. It's going to be like that in the whole world if it already isn't. We're not going to come back from that. Even if there's a vaccine, there's not going to... That vaccine, which there's not enough of, will not handle everything. And if it's mutating already, by the time they distribute the vaccine to everybody else, there'll be another strain. It'll start being like the flu. Every year they got to make another flu vaccine because last year's doesn't work on this year's. And then they give everybody the one they made, and they guess and they hope, is it going to work on this version from this year? They don't ever know. They find out after they gave it to people. And but with coronavirus, they're not treating it like the flu. They're treating it like it's something that has to be regulated. You never needed a passport to say you had a flu vaccine in order to go anywhere. They're already talking about somebody, what did I read today? Like Microsoft or somebody like that. They're talking about making a vaccine passport. And it's like, I don't remember people not saying that this was stupid. I don't remember anybody going along with any of this. Excuse me. But it's like, all of a sudden, this is how it's going to be. Nobody said, I'm going to vote for people to do that. Nobody campaigned saying they were going to do that when people still had a choice to make. So this could all happen in no time flat. I mean, by the time summer comes, they could have all kind of rules that say you can't do anything unless you do everything we told you to do. You can't go to school, you can't have a job, you can't travel, you can't go to another state, you can't... They've already told people they can't even hang around with their friends. And people went along with it. Or they thought they did. You can't go on dates, you can't mix households, you can't have Christmas with your family, you can't visit your relatives on their deathbed. Everybody went along with it. How are you going to ungo along with it now? So I just feel like this is the last day. This is the last day of the old world, the old way. I don't want the new way. I don't. I want my movie theaters back. I want to go to a crowded stadium. I was watching figure skating. And the first time I had to watch it with cardboard people in the stands, it made me feel really bad. And, it still makes me feel really bad. Because it's so great to sit in the crowd at a figure skating competition. It's such... doing that, going to... I went to Worlds in Boston. It was an amazing competition. The crowd, it was a sold out crowd, which never happens. It was just such an amazing feeling, and just the crowd can, crowds can be bad, but sometimes crowds can be great. The concerts I used to go to at Madison Square Garden, Billy Joel or the Rolling Stones, it's just the group and everybody together of a like mind to just be joyful and be happy and to cheer. And the minute this pandemic started and they started closing with I don't like basketball, but when basketball shut down, I was like, whoa. And then when Broadway closed, I'm like, how's it ever going to come back? To me, much like church, those are the places where people gather. And that's, to me, one of the best things people do. Is they come together to play, they come together to cheer, they come together to be happy, and to, share a common experience, a happy time. And they pretty much done away with it. Nobody agreed to that. Nobody said we don't want to ever do that again so that, we won't get sick. I mean, I said it in the beginning, and it's gone on all this time, and I guess people are used to the idea. I was so mad. Some people I really like were in this concert for David Bowie on his birthday, and it was like they were charging ticket prices like $25 for people to stream this concert, and I was pissed because I'm like, they're starting it already. They're gonna start acclimatizing people to go to a concert online and pay for it like that, and they'll still make their money, but the experience is gone. I don't want to watch a concert like that. It just upset me that the people I like were in that, and they were going to me, start the ball rolling on this new way that I don't agree with, I don't want, and it makes me think the future's going to be trash. And I don't know how to stop it. I don't know how to say I don't agree. Where do I sign to say I don't agree with this future and I want no part of it? Can I opt out of this crap future they're creating for us? I really think it starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's in 14 minutes now. But it's going to start with a new administration. The whole world's going to do the same thing. The United States still wants to lead the world instead of having everybody be sovereign or whatever. On the way to, I don't know if it's on the way to one world government. I don't know. I don't want that either. So it's like, what can you do? What can you do except say no? I said no. I don't want anybody to get sick. I wore a bandana, like I said. I don't want to get myself sick, but I don't get the flu shot. I don't want to get a vaccine. I don't trust it. I don't trust normal flu shot. Those things, they've been making them since forever. I don't like medication. I don't really, I don't look it, but I'd rather, eat healthy if I really had to, in order to get over a disease or something else, or just, enjoy my life and drop dead. But I've never gone along with the whole medical profession and all the things they've done over the years. The commercials constantly that have trained people to ask their doctor before they do anything. Ask your doctor, ask your doctor. All this, just like, it's been a building to get a control system for people, and most people went along with it. People who, now their security systems in their house can kill them or whatever, but they thought it was a good idea because they could, lock the house with their phone or whatever, and they just say, oh, it'll be so convenient, oh, look at this new gadget. And all those people being dingbats and going along with things because it's a cool new gadget or whatever. They've been the one to let these things roll, and get these things rolling. And like I said, up before this, we were rolling to a stop. We were rolling to the end. But it accelerated. And it all seems unnatural. And anything unnatural freaks me out, because it's like, if the world was going to end because it was time, or if humans weren't really meant for the earth anymore, okay, but when it seems like it's happening because some really stupid people were in decision-making positions, we don't deserve it. Not just me, everybody. The people I disagree with, the ones who voted for some of the people that I think are too stupid to be there, they don't deserve it. The people who call me bad names because I voted for somebody they don't like, they don't deserve it. Nobody deserves the future that seems like it's coming, the one without freedom. But they've been planning it. They've wanted us to stop traveling. They've wanted to break it all down. They used to talk about it like it was just a good idea, like making things local again, and having local farms and buying that way instead of having shipping. They were talking about this kind of stuff a long time ago. They wanted it to be this way. Does that mean they rigged it or they engineered it? Not necessarily, no. They could have just, plagues come around every 100 years. The plague came around and they took advantage. They took advantage of 9/11 to enact rules that people wouldn't have gone along with under normal circumstances. And here we are again, but this is bad. This is bad. It could be bad. I really hope that aliens save us or Jesus comes back or something, because I don't see a way for us to not go off a cliff here where a lot of people are gonna be, something worse than homeless. I don't know what they would do with a bunch of people that can't have anything because they took it away. I don't know if they've even thought that far. If they have, and there are camps ready to go somewhere, then okay, they knew what they were doing. But the things that worries me is that these people maybe don't know what they're doing, and they're just guessing, because they're really dumb. And it could be over for everybody, like mankind could be over. As bad as it would be if all the poor people were expendable to these rich people, but some rich people survived, then humankind could have a chance in the future to not be as crappy. But they don't know what they're doing. They could wipe us all out, including themselves, and then there's no more people. And I know this sounds really fatalistic, but there are all those moments. There are always those moments in history where it turns. And some people go, how did we not know? Well, a lot of people know. A lot of people know, and I don't think it's 50%. I think most people know. I think most people know we're headed into very, not even dangerous territory. It's whatever's beyond dangerous. Imminent hell, imminent destruction, imminent dystopia. Because a handful of people on top thought they had control of it, felt like they knew what they were doing, and they just wanted more and more. I don't know. But we don't deserve it. Humans don't deserve it. And I'm the kind of person, I watch all the videos about that there was going to be a paradigm shift and a great awakening and all this stuff. I'd like to think so. I'd like to think that magically, we're going to enter a time of milk and honey, but I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. I can't help but feel like I'm looking off a cliff here. I don't know, I just thought of in Speed, the movie Speed, when they're just trying to help him, deal with the bus and going too fast, and then they find out that the road's not finished. And they're like, what do you mean it's finished on the map? Well, that's what I feel like. We're speeding along, and the road's not finished. Are we going to make the jump? Is there a jump to make? What's on the other side? I don't know. I don't feel good about it. I feel off and on peaceful. My life is such a mess. I have no business being peaceful. I really have no plan. and there's not going to be any money at all soon. And I still wonder if there'll be more help. For people like me, I always think they're not going to include me next time, or if there'll be help at all. I can't believe they let it happen. I can't believe they did it. I can't believe people went along with it, but they did it in such a way. They didn't say, if you don't wear masks, you'll die. They said, if you don't wear masks, you'll kill somebody's grandma. And in that way, they used people's goodness against them. That's how they got it done. And it was nasty, you know. And this whole thing, the whole thing of it has been chaos. It's been a created chaos. And chaos is evil. In my mind, chaos is evil. So when you have chaos and you have people purposely creating chaos, what are they? You know? And they're the one leading us forward on a speeding bus, and the road's not finished. I really feel, I feel a heaviness. I feel a darkness. And a part of me has an acceptance of it. Like I said, part of me is stupidly peaceful about it. But I worry about how I'm going to feel when the you-know-what really hits the fan. Is it going to be individual fans and individual you-know-what for all of us? Or are we going to have our stuff hitting the fan at different times? Or is it going to be a giant fan for the whole world and a giant pile of crap that hits it? The crap is coming, and the fan is there. I don't know where, I don't know when. I think it's soon. And we don't deserve it, and I feel so bad for the world we're leaving behind. It was good sometimes. I mean, I struggled. I never had money. But you could finagle it, and you could find a way to sit in that stadium and be happy. It's gone. They took it. It's not because of the plague. The plague helped them take it. But I feel really bad right now. And it really feels like a change. Not the paradigm shift I was hoping for, but it feels like we've turned a corner into a dark alley, and who knows what's in there. I don't want to go in the dark alley.